This week, for week 3, we had to answer the questions. Ciprofloxacin, erythromycin, and Avaclar are used to treat microbial infections. Ciprofloxacin inhabits DNA gyrase. Erythromycin binds in front of A site of a 50S subunit of ribosomes, and Avaclar is a guanine analog. So the following questions we had answers. What steps in protein synthesis are inhibited by each drug? Protein synthesis has to occur in order of proteins to control the activity of the cells. The process is called protein synthesis. In protein synthesis, two major things has to occur. One, the transcription, which is the process of DNA to mRNA, messenger RNA. And number two is the translation, is the process of messenger RNA to make a specific protein based on the transcribed information. Okay. Ciprofloxacin, erythromycin, and Avaclar are used to treat microbial infections. Antimicrobial drugs are either bactericidal, meaning it is used to kill bacteria directly, or bacteriostatic, which simply means is to prevent microbes from growing. Okay. Ciprofloxacin is a type of quinolones, which is known as a fluoroquinolone antibiotic. I found a lot of my research in chapter 20 in the book. This drug works to inhibit protein synthesis by inhibiting the enzymes for carrying out DNA synthesis and replication. Erythromycin is also used to treat microbial infections, but by inhibiting proteins on prokaryote chromosomes. Erythromycin interferes with the process by attaching to 50S subunits and blocking the tunnel of protein synthesis. And Avaclar is a type of antiviral drug known as a nucleoside and a nucleotide analogs. And Avaclar is primarily used for herpes, to treat herpes virus. Which drug is more effective against bacteria and why? Erythromycin is more effective against bacteria because erythromycin is capable of inhibiting the protein synthesis process of prokaryote chromosomes. So most drugs that inhibit protein synthesis have a broad spectrum of activity. So erythromycin do not penetrate the cell wall of gram-negative cells, so it strongly affect gram-positive bacteria. I also read that if you try to give like the other drugs, ciprofloxacin and Avaclar, those may have a counter effects. It could harm the patient, especially if you're not treating a bacteria. You're treating like an antivirus, because Avaclar is used as an antiviral drug. So if you're trying to cure a bacteria, you would have to use erythromycin. Which drug will have effects on the host cell and why? None of these drugs will have effects on the host cell. Avaclar has no effect on a cell that's not affected by a virus. That has no effect on a cell not affected by a virus because it is not altered by the thymine kinesin enzyme. Ciprofloxacin is a DNA gyrase. It's one of the major enzymes that gets targeted by the category of drugs, which makes it unable to perform its normal role in DNA synthesis. And in erythromycin, it only acts on prokaryotic ribosome, which is like bacteria. Okay, and the last question is, why is it more effective than erythromycin for treating this disease? Okay, use the index of the book to identify the diseases for which Avaclar is primary use, and why is it more effective than erythromycin for treating this disease. Avaclar is primarily used to treat herpes, especially genital herpes and AIDS. And I never knew that they use Avaclar drugs to treat AIDS. I never knew that. Erythromycin won't work best because it's for bacteria and you're trying to treat a virus. So Avaclar would be used to treat like genital herpes and AIDS. That's why it's more effective than erythromycin. Thank you.